Do you want to start speaking in a foreign language? Well, buy my course and after 3 months you'll be able to speak on C2 level. Or buy my course and you'll speak right after the first class. How about that? Well, today we're not going to talk about such appealing offers, I mean nonsense, but... So, disclaimer, I am a former English tutor teaching English to adults as a foreign language, and I'm supposed to know all tricks and intricacies of learning a foreign language. Well, bear with me. Another disclaimer is that if you're not a polyglot, you do not drive joy, you don't have fun learning the language, then you are probably suffering the process. Well, I do. My cat is playing, so that's beautiful. So yeah, that's difficult to make it fun. Let me share my experience of learning Turkish, because well, I live in Turkey, and I do need the language to integrate with society. So your language learning experience solely depends on approach you choose. All of them are good depending on your purpose. For example, I chose to focus on understanding. As long as I live abroad, I need to understand, like on survival level, understand what's going on. Like I have to understand the rules, such as you cannot do that, you cannot go there, it's forbidden, or would you like to, I don't know, take some sweets with this coffee? So it is fine, but when we are going to when we're facing more complex situations, this method just falls apart, because in those situations you cannot simply only rely on gestures and the tone of voice. I don't know, so I cannot, that's the flaw of this approach, you cannot reproduce it. I don't know, like more complex situations such as you are going to a migration office. Yeah, you have to not only understand what they want from you, what documents to give, right? You also have to answer some questions, and it's impossible with this approach. So that's my first mistake. Have you ever tried those books when one page is written in your target language and another one in your native one? And yeah, it's a great method. You can understand easily what's going on in the book. You're just speaking some simple tales, stories in the beginning, but that was my another mistake. Let me explain. Yes, that's the great method if you have some basic knowledge of the language. But in my case, I was at survival level, so like this example of survival level, when you go to an international brand of a coffee shop to order coffee, or you buy some groceries in the market on your own without actually using any like language, like without even talking, yes, speaking in that language. It can be discouraging to read even simple story in your target language because you don't have the basics, and you keep just highlighting new words, taking notes. You're trying to learn to learn as much as you can, and just after 1 hour you find yourself you read just one page. That's not enough, right? I don't know, it just feels really discouraging and sad, and before you know, you just find yourself reading these stories in your native language, not in the target one, just because you're tired, you don't understand, there is another word, again I have to open some Google Translate or whatever and translate it because I don't know what's happening. What makes it worse is the idea that you have to translate each word because, well, you would like to learn as many words as possible, right? Wrong. You have to rely on context, keywords to understand and communicate, because this is much more effective way, and this is how we acquire our native language. This is how we do, because if we do not use new words in a meaningful way, such as creating short sentences, phrases, we will forget those words, and all your time devoted to learn a foreign language will be just, I don't know, flushed right down in the toilet. Talking about time, make learning a language a habit, something you do every day a little bit. not just something you do actively for a week and then forget for a month, because this consistency is the key. Yeah, this like spaced learning, or what is it called? Spaced learning, right? So it's far more effective to learn just a little bit every day rather than just stuff yourself with grammar rules, with new words, and then forget after a month. Because remember, I told you, not all of us are polyglots, not all of us are actually enjoying learning the language. Most of us want to just acquire the language as fast as possible. That's why we have so many advertisements about learning the language just in 3 weeks, 3 months, whatever, as fast as possible. So mistakes in learning language, foreign language, are inevitable, yes, and setting unachievable goals will be, I mean, your downfall. What you should do instead is, firstly, like for the first week, see how far you're progressing, and based on that, just set some achievable goals based on circumstances and the like difficulty of your language. I don't know, if you're learning Chinese, good luck. I used to know that language a little bit, but not anymore. Study every day for an hour? Maybe it's not quite achievable. Maybe you can study for the whole solid hour twice a week. Okay, cool. Or you can study only 15-30 minutes every day. Great, that would be a wonderful habit. Just see what suits you for, well, I know, like in your situation. So it must be your priority if you want to learn the language. Yes, not only understand, but also communicate, speak in that language. So what mistakes have you made on your journey of acquiring your target language? Leave it in comments. I'm really curious. Is it only me?